Two Point Campus Guide. This is a guide to the video game Two Point Campus. First, I'm going to do a quick overview of what everything does. This is for building rooms. This is for placing furniture within the corridors. This is for placing furniture in the exterior. This is for hiring staff. You've got teachers, assistants, and janitors. This is the course management. These are the courses you're running. You can add a course, and it gives you obviously some additional information. Over here you have a schedule. You have this year and next year. You have the rooms that the staff is assigned to, etc. These are your teachers, your students. This is training, which is not available right now in this game. And this is job assignment. For example, if you want to keep a teacher out of a room, this is all of the overlays that shows you the quality of the surroundings. Over here we have a calendar. When the yellow square gets to the end, that's the end of the school year. When it's at the beginning, it's the beginning of the school year. This is a timeline, obviously, for the school year. You've got the controls to play, pause, etc. This is the average grade of your students. This is how much cash you have. The happiness. This is your campus level, which is kind of like the dollar value of your buildings, your staff, and your students. This is Kudosh, which is an in-game currency. Over here you have your inbox for messages, and on the upper right you have, for example, the Career Hub, the league. All of these players are AI players, and then you have any challenges that you're working on. Okay, and there's another one over here, which is the management view. Gives you a little bit of a different overview of what's going on. And then this is the game menu. Okay, so I'm going to start. Yeah, it's playing some music. Okay, so we're going to learn how the settings work. You go over here, you go to audio, and no matter how low you put it, it will still play something. Okay, the build menu. You see over here it says rooms. Over here you have templates. You're probably not going to use templates unless you have a very big campus. We'll organize it like this. We've got the lecture theater, which is this room over here. It's used for classes. It's used for movies. The library is this room. This is someplace where they go to work on assignments, and it improves their grade. The science lab that's not it. This is a science lab. You've got different features. This is not one of the good science labs. But the science lab is where they take certain classes, which I'll have to show you later. The VR lab is a virtual reality lab. It's also used for classes. This is the VR lab. Notice that there's an opening, and they have to be able to enter that opening. The kitchen, this is one of the kitchens right here. You notice I've got almost every single accessory module in the kitchen. And then there's another one called Sweet Kitchen, which obviously is referring to confectionaries. And I believe that this is the Sweet Kitchen right here. The dormitory is where the students sleep, and when the student comes to the building, they're automatically assigned to one of the dormitories, and they share the beds. So there's only one person at a time, but they don't have a bed assigned to them as far as I know. They'll just sleep in any bed as long as it's in their dormitory. The student lounge is this one here. You can have some games, place to sit. You see it's student lounge. They go there to hang out. The student union is this one here. It's a little bit more fun. You can have, there's a stage. They can dance. Over here you can see that there's a party going on. There's a musical performance, and you've got a dance area, stage. You can put some games and things like that. Cafeteria is for food, and it is right here, so they can go over here and they can eat. The bathroom is right here. That's a shower, and this is the bathroom. The campus building is referring to the entirety of the building. So you can see over here there's another potential building. Over here there's another potential building, another potential building. The private tuition room is this room right here. You can see there's a desk. This is where they go for one-on-one study to improve their grades. And then you have a staff room, which is over here where the staff hangs out. The rooms have a capacity. This one has a capacity of 5. They have a prestige level, etc. But we're going to cover this later in the video. Over here you have what's called a corridor item that you can see here. You've got art on the wall. You've got a place to sit. These are windows and doors. You've got food, some of which a person needs to operate. Some are just vending machines. These are chairs and benches. You can put the tables over here, and they'll sit and they'll make friends with each other. This is entertainment. It's video games, mostly. Artwork improves the happiness, the aesthetics. Some people want nice aesthetics. This is relationship items like benches and the water cooler, so people can meet each other and make friends. These are special products. For example, the power nap stand, which helps them if they're tired. There's another one there. This one is a speed walking wheel, a speed walking sign. We've got some special items over here. Some of them you have to unlock with the Kudosh currency. Now we've got outdoor items which go over here. You can see I put down some outdoor items. You've got bushes, fences, benches. I put some benches out here. They don't use them very often. This is obviously a bench for people that want to date. And this is outdoor food stalls, some of which you have to unlock, and it might require someone to operate it. So you can see here, it improves health and drink. It gives you the coffee buzz, a little bit of energy, but it requires an assistant to operate it. These are obviously different types of plants. There's statues, entertainment items like we got a seesaw. Those are relationship items. These are club items. There is a temperature feature which was in 2 Point Hospital because you have cold climates and you have warm climates. Now over here we've got your staff. You got teachers, assistants, and janitors. It shows you the number of people in the staff. You can sort them. You're not going to use it. You can see that some of it is based on what they teach, and some of it is based on the type of skill they have. Like this is a skill, that's a skill, that's teaching, etc. And the same is true with this and with the janitor. You want the ones who have the high numbers. For example, this one's got a 5 that's very high, so you click on him, you hit the check mark, and then you drop him. And once you drop him, he's hired. So what you want to do is you want to hire people with high numbers, get rid of the ones with low numbers. All the ones you're going to get rid of, you're not going to hire them. They can have more than one skill. For example, ideally you want someone who has 2 teaching skills because they can teach 2 different classes which are unlikely to be at the same time. We're going to get more on the staff later. This is your course management. You earn course points every time your level goes up. If you build more rooms, hire more staff, or get more students, your course points go up, and you can use it to upgrade a course, which is going to increase the number of students, or you can add a course. Right now I don't have any courses available, but there's a lot of courses. There's at least 20. You've got the income you're going to get the next year, the number of students, etc. When you make a change, it's for the next academic year. So you can see here it says 30 applicants, 27 student intake, and the qualification level. 5 is the level of the class, 1 being the lowest, and the upgrade cost to go up to level 6, which brings in more students. You want to use those very wisely, those course points. This is the calendar. You've got the rooms, the staff, and the students. These are the classes the students are taking. These are the classes the teachers are teaching. These are the rooms and how they've been booked. And you can sort them. You got to click over here on alphabetical. And you can see that we have events in the student lounge or the student union. We've got classrooms like the VR lab. You can see how the schedule is booked. And there's a vertical bar in the month of October. You can see over here, the orange is August, September, October. It goes until July. Over here you have academic, and over here you have the non-academic. You can create an event. It's very easy. You click create. You do funny film. The one in yellow is selected. I do schedule event. You see it's over here. You can move it, or you can change the theater. You see how the schedule changes based on which one I pick? So I could put it over here and then do book event. If you're too far out, if you're in July, you might not be able to book an event. So if I do county cook-off and schedule, see it says cook-off is already running at this time. You take it and you slide it over into an empty space, or you change the kitchen and then you slide it into an empty space and you do book event. You can do some events will improve the education level of your students, for example, if it's a competition. The funny film is going to improve happiness. It says over here, happiness and entertainment. Romantic film, happiness and entertainment. Movement speed, because it's a party, and happiness. This is food, so it takes away some of their hunger and improves their health. You've got another party, you've got a bunch of party stuff. This is a new one I haven't used yet. And then you've got the competitions, which shows, reward of 2,000 cash, 4 kudosh, etc. It also shows requirements. The campus cook-off, you need gastronomy course level 1 and 3 students. Recommended student level 4. So the gastronomy course level 1, this one is course level 5, right? See over here, it's got the 5. This one's got a 3. This one's got a 3. This one's got a 1. I had to get to course level 5 before I could meet the minimum requirement for that event. Recommended student level 11. These are the students, and you notice it's got level 15, 14, etc. You got to have 11. And it's got to be with the proper degree. Like this guy looks like he is a cook, or you could click over here and get some that are 11. I don't know what the star is for. I guess it's just to favorite them. You might have to favor some of them, but we'll get to that later. So these are all the events. You can sort them by competition, entertainment, etc. What I do is I do funny film, and then I skip over the next film. I do the party, and then I do one food, and then I do one of the karaoke, and then I do one competition, so that they're not doing 5 parties all at the same time. And sorting, you click over here and you would hit something like alphabetical, and it's going to sort cafeteria, lecture, etc. So you see that the lecture theater has openings. That means I have more lecture theaters than I need. It looks like there's 3 openings per theater, which means I have 3 extra theaters. The reason why I did that is to increase my level so I could get the course points, so I could upgrade gastronomy, so I could finish the level. Over here you see that there's 1 gap or 2 gaps. VR Lab is full often. The Savory Kitchen, I built an extra one. The Sweet Kitchen, I only need 1. There's enough that I can schedule all the classes probably with 1. It might be a problem because this might conflict for the teacher. The teacher might be busy at this time, so they can't schedule it at that time. The lounges do parties, the unions do parties. Like the lounge will do a musical performance. The cafeteria does a food event where they can eat. This is for the next year, which means it hasn't happened yet. If you see an icon in red, that means you need to either hire a teacher or you might need to build a new room because your rooms are full. So if you go over here to course management and you've got course points and you do an upgrade and you bring in more students or you add a new course, you might have to build a new room. And it will tell you when you go over here on next year, because you'll see either this will be ghosted out and it will say you need to add a room, or you'll have a red icon. These are your existing staff, existing students, and their job assignments. So over here you can sort, check their status. For example, this means they're not doing anything. If you see a lot of them that aren't doing anything, you want to fire them or just hold on to them. The other thing is you sort by qualification. 7 is really good. 1, not so much. I could fire these people, this is a janitor, and replace him with a janitor with a higher value. You go to here, go to janitor, and you see there's a janitor 4. I could hire the janitor 4 and go to my staff, look for the janitor 1, which is right here, and fire him. And that's how you improve the quality of the work that your staff is doing. You can do it for teachers, you can do it for janitors. And these are assistants. You want to try to find assistants that work in the library. See, I got one here that doesn't work in the library, so you want him to be fired and replaced with someone who has library skill. These, okay, we're going to skip the students and we're going to go to the work assignments. So for teachers, you notice that there's a private tuition and some of them have the private tuition icon. You want them to work in private tuition, but you don't want the other people to work in private tuition. So you uncheck anyone who doesn't have private tuition. And then you see over here you got research and you have classes. If you see someone who doesn't do any research and he only does classes, then make it so, uncheck him from the research. And if someone doesn't do classes, uncheck him for classes. I will do another video that goes into more depth on that matter. So these are students. The most important one is the grade. These are the new students. They don't have a grade yet. These guys have a low grade. You click on it and you see over here it says send to private tuition. You're going to give them a little bit of tutoring. Using those options, and you can do it with these students also. There are some students that cannot go to private tuition. I'll do another video that will explain more detail. That's a lot of students, so I'm going to leave it at that. See, you can see over here what they're doing, whether they're in class or not. You see what course they're in, year 3, the grade that they're getting, which is also shown over here. You got year 1, year 2, year 3. You're always going to have fewer students in year 3 because you start out with a few students and you have to attract more students. Over time, you're going to have the same amount of students in every year, but it's going to take a couple of years before that starts to happen. This is for training, not available in this particular university. I haven't reached training yet. But what training does is it increases these numbers. This 3 could go to a higher number, or you can add another qualification. It says open training menu, but you notice that nothing opens. Here you have campus management. You've got graphs which show the performance. You've got the campus, academics, staff, student, finance, advice. It says here to hire more janitors, and policy. So here it says pay all staff a 1% salary. You click that, and you'll be charged the $18,000, and it will pay the salary. Over here it says desired salary. I could increase this or lower it. Green is income, red is expenses, so the profit is the difference between the two. So you can see here that staff wages are very high. If you run out of money, you might have to go and fire the staff that's making the most money. That's the only way to get yourself out of debt. And obviously you'd start with whoever costs you the most amount of money. See, most money comes from tuition. Rent is the dormitories, objectives. Items is probably the kiosk. Student overview. I had one student who failed. The happiness is kind of low. So I could improve some of these things. Energy means food, like an energy drink. It's obviously drinks, hygiene, entertainment, health. To fix these, you go and you put more vending machines, you do more events that are food related. The attractiveness, you go put more decorations. Thermal comfort is not for this campus, but if you're in a cold climate or in a hot climate, it'll matter. Room prestige means that the rooms are decorated, they have plants, carpets, etc. This is the tuition and the dormitory. The personal goals, they'll notify you if they want something, and I'm going to tell you that it'll say they want something and then they never use it. So you can't take them very seriously. These are clubs and relationships, which I'll cover all that later. Medical issues, we don't have a clinic available in this school. Pastoral issues. So you see here that it says that there's 60 students that are in the 61 to 70% range. So you want to start from the bottom and move them up into the higher levels. So food, it looks like I can do a bit on the food and on the drink. The entertainment, I'm doing pretty good because I run a lot of events. So we'll look at food. This means I have to do either more food events or put more vending machines. I thought that there was enough vending machines, but I guess I could add more. These are clubs, and you have to put the object in the game for people to use it, and they do love to use it. So club members walk speedily. You want to put this somewhere that a lot of people walk past. I'll show you eventually where I put mine. And relationships, friends, dating, etc. If you want to adjust these values, you can go and build, you can run the romantic films or build something to increase friendship and dating. This is the staff overview. Teacher-student ratio 1 to 7. You've got the needs just like everywhere else. Resignations, training requests, but they don't have training in this campus as far as I know. You can see the same information because they have to eat also and drink also. And you can see the skills that they have. So for gastronomy, I could do better. It's only a 3. And private tuition, I could do better. And for science, I could do better. But for maintenance, it's actually really good. Library is actually really good. This is a class that's kind of low. This one, the values are really low, only 1s. And obviously, you can break it down by the type of teacher. Academic overview shows how many students are in each class, or what the average is. I'm guessing that this is the grade, meaning that they're scoring 83% in scientography. And that's the room where I have the most equipment and modules. I could go improve the other rooms to give them more modules to work with. And this is the number of stars you have. When you complete all the stars, the map is considered finished. You can continue playing or you can move on to another map. Number of students, number of staff, average qualification, you want to increase that. You want to increase the room prestige. It makes everyone happy. And over here we've got some graphs, distribution graphs, it looks like. No, this is trend. This is a trend over time. Okay. So in terms of the clubs, this is one of the club objects, the power nap. This is the speedy sign. I put it here because, no, this is the speedy sign. I put it here because a lot of people walk past here. But it doesn't give you any information. I have seen somebody use this speed walking wheel. A student requested a Ferris wheel. This is the Ferris wheel right here. Through the inbox, it said, I want a Ferris wheel. Went over here and I built it. I've never seen anybody use it. There's no information about anyone using the Ferris wheel. They'll ask for a bench and they won't use it. This is the curved bench. Someone said they wanted a curved bench. I put the curved bench. They don't use it. So if it has a little bullseye and it says personal goal, and they say we want a coffee machine, don't assume they're going to use it at all. We already went through this. These are loans. You can borrow money. I haven't needed to borrow any money, but you can see you can change the amount. You can take out the loan. It shows you the repayment over 2 years with the small, medium, and large loan. These are overlays. This one's pretty cool because it'll show you, for example, there's a brown area over here. I should go and figure out why and fix that. Temperature doesn't matter in this climate. See, the janitors are doing a decent job. They need to clean up in the restrooms a bit more. This is an upgrade. See over here, it says call janitor. That's if it needs to be repaired. And over here it says upgrade, but I can't click on it. It says unlocked through research. It's possible that in this map I don't have the ability to do upgrades. If you don't like the filter, you can hit the trash can to reset it. So here's food coverage. You can see that the main building really doesn't have a lot of food coverage. So I should put more food coverage in the main building. And you notice it shows you the status of each individual person. A lot of people don't have a lot of energy, so that's something I want to address. Okay, so I already covered these items over here. Timeline, calendar to the end of the year, cash, etc. With the Kudosh, you come over here, and if it has a dollar sign, then that's the cash price. But if it has a K, you got to pay the 100 to unlock it. So I'll unlock this one. And then you can put it on a wall. Not on this one. It's see, the cafeteria wall is only a half height wall. But I could probably put it invalid room for chef poster. Okay, so it looks like it's got to go in the hallway. And you see I paid 50 cash for the poster. These are messages. I don't have any messages. I'm going to hit the play button. I'm going to fast forward for some messages to come in. See a little bit about the operation of the game. There's only 2 modules over here. If you make a larger room, like this one, I could fit in lots of modules. This room has a higher prestige value, even though it's not decorated. And I believe that the students probably do a better job completing their assignments because there's more modules that they can work on. Click on the inbox, and you see we got the open day. Funny Business is one of the classes. The open day means you have some potential students coming in. Over here we've got 3 applicants to study in this course. You want to accept it to bring in more students. This is a statement of how much money you're making. Over here you've got show objectives, celebrity cook-off, the open day. Over here you've got the Career Hub. I have to be honest, I really don't 100% understand how this works. But you can win a reward, which is listed here under Kudosh. You have to earn Kudosh, spend Kudosh, and then you win Kudosh. It says pin an objective. I'm guessing it pins it over here, so you can see how you're doing. This one is close to being done, but this one is really close to being done. The one that says Funny Business. So we're going to pin this one. And you see over here it says 470. It has like a briefcase. I don't know what that means. But I haven't found any use for it or any reference to it anywhere else in the game. So now the career goal, level up 1,000 Funny Business students, that's probably going to happen on its own. because I have the classes and the students are there, and they're going to keep on leveling up. Over here we've got the league table. These are AI teams, which is why they have names like Jumbo McNally. This is happiness, the campus level, the pass rate, grades, career, kudosh, etc. It shows how you rank against imaginary groups. Not very useful. Maybe you have to turn on the networking option. You have to log in for it to be enabled. Okay, so I believe I've covered everything except for the rooms themselves and the individual people. So I'm going to go to a person. We've got the overview, his mood, social life, his academics, statistics. So the overview has his year. It's a 3-year program, and what he's doing. He's waiting in line, how he feels, any traits that he has. For example, he drops litter. He has certain needs, like he needs to rest. He wants more aesthetics. He's in a club. He wants this item to be purchased. He has some friends. His personality is listed here. He's on level 2, and his learning rate is not 100%. And then you've got the dormitory he lives in, his fees, his debt, the number of classes, etc. Assignments that they do, I think, in the library. Over here it says timetable. That's going to show his schedule. You see he's this guy right over here, Stooge McGriffin. He goes to class, class, and class. This is to expel the student. It really should be on the right. They shouldn't put it over here. This is to send him to private tuition. This is to customize him. For example, the type of clothing that he's wearing. You have objects which you can sell them, move them, copy them, or repair them. And they have some basic information. You can call the janitor to repair it. There's an upgrade option. Isn't available to me right now. You can see all the modules. This is to do an event. You pick the event, you schedule it, you put it in a free time, and then you book it. This is the timetable. You see it's Savory Kitchen 3, and it shows all the classes and events, including the one that I just added. This is to put an item inside the room. See if I can put a poster right there. This is to sell the room if you need the money. I believe that you sell it for its actual value. So if you build something and sell it, you don't lose any money. This is to edit the room, which puts it into the original editing mode. And then you have to hit the check mark when you're ready, and you can add all of these objects. This is to move the room, to copy the room. You're going to want to copy, like these 2 rooms, these small ones, they were copied. I made this one and then I copied it and I put it over here. Save, update room templates. I could save this and use it later as a template. Create new. And then when I want to build it, I could go to the build menu and look at templates, and there it is right there. It's identical. And then you've got something that says close room and customization. So close room means that it's no longer operating. The students will leave and the teachers will leave. Customization, you've got Santa, so that's something that you can do to customize the room. You can go through the room like this, but it's not in alphabetical order. It's kind of in a random order, or maybe in the order that they were built. Okay, so that is pretty much the majority of this guide. I'm going to make other guides that are specific about teachers, about students, because, you know, obviously they're a long time and people might not want to watch it right now. So look in my channel for other videos about 2 Point Campus. Either look for the playlist or search. If the guides are not there, they will be coming in the future. I release one video every day. So subscribe and you'll see the guide when it's released in the future. Okay, that's it for 2 Point Campus. You can go to my discussion forum, cheapbooks.cc. I believe it's under Business Management Sims, and look for 2 Point Campus. That's where I post all the tips that I'm going to use in a future video, and the guide where I'll save a screenshot. I'll make a screenshot and I'll explain what it does, and it will be information that I'll use in a future video. So if you want to get a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming, you can look in my forum. Also, if you have any questions, you can post question below. I answer every question. If you're interested in earning some money, I recommend HoneyGain, which is a VPN where you resell your bandwidth. I've made money doing it, and there's a video where I show that I received money. I received my first payment. It's a passive app. You don't want to do it if you're paying for data. But if you're on Wi-Fi or cabled internet, or you're not paying, you can make money running it. For example, if I'm outside the U.S. in a third world country, I'm making $10 a month. If you're in the U.S., I've heard people making $50 a month or more. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. This is 2 Point Campus Guide.